What's up, this is Zombie Talk 123. Today's been an interesting day in the waiver lines in the MLB. Now, first you see every team except possibly the Boston Red Sox have declined and missed the opportunity to put a claim on Carlos Pena. They went from the worst record all the way to the best, and no team has put a claim on him. The Yankees put a claim on him earlier today. It was an unknown team. Now the Yankees. I could see that as a deal that could be happening. It probably wouldn't take too much either at this point. But the Cubs' asking price would probably be high just because they're trying, obviously, to get prospects, and they'd probably rather have Carlos Pena the next month and a half this season than not have him. So, anyway, getting to new news. San Francisco Giants have put a claim on Heath Bell. If you're surprised by this move, don't really be. Because if you look at the facts here, number one, Sergio Romo. This is a Giants team who has been out without one of the best relievers on their team, Sergio Romo, and recently Brian Wilson, their all-star closer. Now, Brian Wilson last year led the NL in saves by one save, and that was over Heath Bell. And then you look at them all-star, Heath Bell was in the late innings and Brian Wilson closed. You're looking at Heath Bell and Brian Wilson are the two best closers in the National League. And for the Giants to maybe be able to have them both on their roster, probably not at the same time until Brian Wilson comes back, and that's also if they acquire Heath Bell. It's going to take a lot to acquire him. There's been some speculation the Giants might have put this waiver claim so the Arizona Diamondbacks are not able to. If you look at it, it goes from worst record to best, and the Diamondbacks have a 2-game lead over the San Francisco Giants going into play today, Wednesday, August 24th. So, if you look at this, if no team claims them in the next few teams, and Arizona comes up there and they put a claim on them, remember this: Kevin Towers, their GM of the Diamondbacks, was GM of the San Diego Padres last year. So he's a first-year GM of the Diamondbacks. He's in a position of the playoff run. We've seen in the past him make a few deals when they're very close to a playoff run, especially when he's with a new team. I could see him easily making a deal with the Padres, especially with J.J. Putz. He was fantastic early. He's been a little iffy the second half, and their bullpen is just not 100%. Their offense is fantastic. The bullpen not 100%. Starting rotation, they tried to definitely solidify it with Jason Marquis, and he's hurt for the rest of the season. So nothing you can do about that. But them acquiring Aaron Hill and John McDonald yesterday are definitely going to help them, and he looked like he was ready for more moves. So I could see them trying to acquire Heath Bell if the Giants don't acquire him. But this claim is official. They have 48 hours to make a deal. It will take a lot considering the fact that he is going to be a Type A free agent. Now, number one, it was quoted before that he would accept arbitration, though. So the thing about that is if the Giants offer arbitration, he accepts. Then the Giants, if the Padres offer arbitration to Heath Bell and he accepts, then they have him. Now, if he doesn't, then they get the 2 draft picks. It's not just an automatic 2 draft picks. He has to decline arbitration if they offer. So, and he has said he would accept arbitration in the past. So, for the Padres, it's like, maybe you should trade him if you find the right deal. Obviously, those 2 first-round draft picks could be very valuable for a team like the Padres rebuilding. But again, that also means they can't re-sign him then. So, it's either for them, offer arbitration, have him decline it, get those 2 draft picks, and let him walk, or re-sign him, or trade him right now. And it would take a lot, though. And Brian Wilson has not talked about his injury, so we really don't know how bad of his injury it is. But if he doesn't start throwing until, late September and doesn't get back into the roster, into the active roster, and doesn't start closing games till the end of September, or maybe even October, then you're definitely going to maybe see the Giants really pushing for Heath Bell. Not just to block the Diamondbacks, not just to block any other rivals. It's interesting because the Giants barely beat the Padres in the division last year, and they are division rivals, so it'd be very interesting. But again, it kind of goes the same with the Diamondbacks, except they have probably a much stronger relationship. The fact that the Diamondbacks are a surprise team, the Diamondbacks didn't beat out the Padres last year on the last day, and also the fact that Kevin Towers was the GM of the Padres. I think it's smart either way for the Giants, because if they put him back on the waiver wire, he can't be. He gets claimed. He can't. They can't not trade him. So, or something like that. Either they can't put him back if they don't get a trade or whatever it is. But the main thing is here, it's blocking Arizona from making a deal. So good for the Giants doing that, but the Giants actually might be very interested in doing it, making a trade. It's gonna take a lot though. As I said before, it's Heath Bell here. They're not gonna just give him up for a few secondary prospects. It's gonna take a few really good prospects to get him. But the fact it's only for the next month and a half now, it might be a little different. But again, I could see Heath Bell being dealt. Definitely more unrealistic than Carlos Pena being dealt to the Yankees, though. But I could see it. Heath Bell, you could see him on a contending team in October. I could see it. The Giants are probably going to push pretty hard for him if they find out how long Brian Wilson's going to be out. And the fact that Sergio Romo's out too, Jonathan Sanchez out, they're pretty low on pitching right now. So, and that's their strength right there is pitching. That's what they do. And the fact that their offense has been like the worst in the major leagues, it's a pretty stagnant offense without Buster Posey. The main piece of that is Pablo Sandoval. When they got Carlos Pena, everyone thought their offense would be great. It's not going to fix their offense. It's going to help. But, trading a really good prospect pitcher for Carlos Beltran, it's not going to fix all the problems. Excuse me, I might have said Carlos Pena before. I'm not sure. Got him on my mind. I'm just having troubles talking this whole video. Sorry about that. But, again, the Giants offense, if you're looking for the prime of the Giants, next year expect great things. The fact that Matt Cain is going to be a free agent after next year. We'll see if they're interested in signing him long term. And another starter for the Giants is going to be a free agent next year too. So if you're looking at, next year is really the year to go on. You're going to have Posey back. That's going to be a force in your lineup. 25-plus home runs, a high average, driving and run, right in the middle of that lineup. Whether they do re-sign Carlos Beltran or a different outfield free agent or, whoever they're interested in, Freddie Sanchez, a few other guys will be back and ready to go. So it's definitely going to be a different team for the Giants next year. All they need to do is keep trying, try to get in October, and keep that mentality. And next year they will be so much better because of their offense. It will not be stagnant next year. It will be pretty electric, actually. It's not going to be the best offense in the majors, but if you add bats like Buster Posey, Freddie Sanchez, all of those guys, definitely going to help. And if they add an outfield bat in the offseason, whatever they decide to do, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Brandon Belt, it will be interesting to see what he does in his first full season next year. The main thing, though, the San Francisco Giants have put a claim on Padres closer Heath Bell. I was pretty surprised they didn't trade him at the trading deadline. If they trade him now, they probably could have got more at the trading deadline. But we'll see what happens. I don't think this deal is that realistic. But Giants fans, don't lose hope. Be ready. Watch MLB Trade Rumors. Follow up, MLB Network, whatever it is. Follow up, and if there's an announcement, it's going to be in the next 48 hours. So just pay attention closely and get ready for an announcement if there is one. And that's about it. Thanks for watching MLB Talk 1, 2, 3.